The India-Pakistan rivalry, a long and bloody saga, has once again reached a fever pitch. On May 7, 2025, the Indian military launched airstrikes against targets within Pakistan. This operation, dubbed Operation Sindoor, marked a significant escalation in the ongoing conflict between the two nuclear-armed neighbors. The strikes, which targeted what India claimed were terrorist training camps, were met with immediate retaliation from Pakistan. The situation is deeply concerning. Both nations have substantial military capabilities, and the potential for this conflict to spiral out of control is very real. The international community has responded with alarm, urging both sides to exercise restraint and seek a peaceful resolution. However, the historical animosity between India and Pakistan, coupled with the current political climate, makes such a resolution seem distant at best. The latest chapter in this decades-long conflict began with a terrorist attack in Kashmir on April 22, 2025. This attack, which claimed the lives of Indian civilians, inflamed tensions and set the stage for the current crisis. India's response, Operation Sindoor, represents a dangerous gamble by New Delhi. While the strikes themselves may have been intended as a show of force, they have instead ignited a powder keg with potentially catastrophic consequences. The world holds its breath as India and Pakistan lock horns once more. The risk of a wider conflict, one with devastating implications for the region and beyond, is now higher than it has been in years. India and Pakistan possess formidable military forces. Both countries have invested heavily in their armed forces, driven by a shared history of conflict and mistrust. India, with its larger economy and population, boasts a significantly larger military. Its army, navy and air force are equipped with a mix of domestically produced and imported weaponry. Pakistan, while fielding a smaller force, has focused on developing its military capabilities to counter India's perceived advantage. It has a robust nuclear arsenal and a well-trained military. The recent conflict has seen both sides deploy their latest military hardware. India, for example, has reportedly used its Rafale fighter jets in the strikes, while Pakistan claims to have shot down several Indian aircraft. The current standoff highlights a concerning reality. Both nations are locked in a dangerous arms race. Each new acquisition by one side is met with a counter-acquisition by the other, fueling a cycle of insecurity and mistrust. This arms race not only diverts valuable resources from crucial social and economic development, but also increases the risk of a catastrophic conflict. The use of advanced weaponry, even in a limited conflict, could have devastating consequences, particularly given the densely populated nature of the region. Operation Sindoor, India's latest military action against Pakistan, represents a significant escalation in the ongoing conflict. The strikes, which targeted locations deep within Pakistani territory, were the most extensive since the 1971 war between the two countries. India claims that the targets were terrorist training camps belonging to groups responsible for the recent attack in Kashmir. However, Pakistan disputes these claims, stating that the strikes resulted in civilian casualties. The differing narratives presented by both sides underscore the challenges of verifying information in the fog of war. Regardless of the intended targets, Operation Sindoor has been met with condemnation from a large part of the international community. Many countries have expressed concern over India's unilateral action, viewing it as a dangerous provocation that could lead to a wider conflict. The strikes have also drawn comparisons to the 2019 Balakot airstrikes, which similarly targeted alleged terrorist camps within Pakistan. The 2019 strikes, like the current ones, were justified by India as a necessary response to terrorism emanating from Pakistani soil. However, they also failed to achieve their stated objective of deterring future attacks. The repetition of this strategy, with its inherent risks of escalation, raises serious questions about India's long-term approach to dealing with Pakistan-based militant groups. The international community has responded to the latest India-Pakistan clash with a mixture of alarm and calls for restraint. The United Nations, the United States, China, Russia, and numerous other countries have urged both sides to de-escalate the situation and engage in dialogue. The fear, of course, is that this latest flare-up could spiral into a full-blown war between two nuclear-armed nations. The consequences of such a conflict would be catastrophic, not only for India and Pakistan, but for the entire world. The use of nuclear weapons, even on a limited scale, would have devastating humanitarian and environmental consequences. The international community's leverage over India and Pakistan is limited. Both countries are fiercely independent and resistant to outside pressure, particularly on matters of national security. Moreover, the complex geopolitical landscape with its shifting alliances and competing interests makes it difficult to forge a united front in response to the crisis. Despite these challenges, the international community must continue to impress upon India and Pakistan the urgency of de-escalation and the need for a peaceful resolution. The alternative, a wider war on the Indian subcontinent, is too terrifying to contemplate.